Hi, I'm Aaron J. Marks of aaronjmarks.com and commercetheory.com. Welcome to my podcast, A Higher Level, where everything we think, see, and do happens on a higher level. For as long as I can remember, I felt like my mind has worked just a little differently than most others. For my entire life, I've been studying, observing, and contemplating this incomparably strange and wonderful phenomenon called human existence, and trying to figure out what it's all about. People say the way of thinking and theorizing that comes from this offers an unusually high and rich level of insight, clarity, freedom, inspiration, and effortless creativity. And that's ultimately what a higher level is all about. The insight to understand how life works, the clarity to see where to go next, the freedom to go there, the inspiration to find joy and wonder along the journey, and the creativity to honor your particular brand of human genius. In this podcast, I'm going to break down and describe the concepts that come from my theories so that you can see into the fabric of the life you're living with greater depth and precision, and use that understanding to improve your results in every way that's meaningful to you. It's the only life you get, and the only chance you have to make a difference here. If there's one thing I know, it's that all lives can improve, and that the human race is just one big collective results improving system. Ready to find your place here? Fabulous. Let's get into the topic for this episode of A Higher Level. I'll see you again afterward and talk more about what it looks like to work with me. Until then, let's dive in. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Higher Level with me, Aaron of aaronjmarks.com. A Higher Level is my podcast where everything we think, see, and do happens on a higher level. And we're in the first series of season two. Season two is going to be 3 different series. And we're in the first one, which is the 9 facets of my work that make me distinctive as a coach, consultant, and thought leader, advisor kind of person. Because it's a perpetual challenge to describe the effect that I have in the work that I do. And this series is one of my ways of doing that. So we're on number 3, which is that I'm a purpose-oriented personal growth and leadership coach. And the way I describe this is that I see the unique profile of gifts, strengths, and potential in each and every individual and show them how to live a richer, fuller life of greater vision, confidence, impact, prosperity, and esteem. So, this is the coaching capacity, right? Like when we talk about coaching, like this is essentially what we're saying is like you sit with a person, you hold a space for them, and it's a space that is somehow remarkably magical and transformative. It's a space that you don't have all the time, right? Because um, and this is something that happens so perpetually and automatically that I don't even realize I'm doing it. But it's like when I sit with a person, this is indeed what happens. Is there's a space that's created where they can sort of let out their essence, for lack of a better way to say it. Because it's like, if you think about it, we're all born into this human condition. There's this collective condition of humanity. It's kind of what we share and it's what we take all of us together, right? It's like the human race is sort of an entity in and of itself, but we're made of all these sub-entities that we call individuals. And so there's this constant tension of how to live within the collective, but also to express as an individual. And really, that's what our life is about, is solving that problem, that we're all given here, right? Um, but the personal growth and leadership coach element, that's sort of about regarding um the collective of humanity as a bunch of individuals, each questing after their own ideal story and serving the collective in the process. And this is not something that we're taught to think about. Like that's why coaching is kind of a revelatory industry right now. Is that it really asks this question of like, well, how do we balance the needs of the collective with the needs of the individual? Because a lot of individuals feel like their experience is not being served, and so how do we serve the experience of the individual? That's what this means. Well, so to me, it starts with holding space and figuring out who that person is, figuring out what they see, why they see it, what their story is that's given them that perspective. And figuring out what they love, what they care about, what they're interested in, what they seem to do well, what they seem to do better than other people, what gets in their way, what they find challenging, what they struggle with, the state of their relationships, the nature of their communication, the nature of their leadership. Everyone has their own profile, their own sort of unique blueprint of those traits. And there's a certain kind of space that you have to hold to bring those out in people so that they can really see them and really reveal them so that we can observe them and capture them and give them a prescription for growth that serves them as well as the collective. So when we do that, we, kind of reveal a sort of purposeful kind of life, for each individual that also serves the collective. So that's what that process is like. Okay. And if you'd like to experience it, have a session with me, and that is a role that I'll perform for you. So that's a purpose-oriented personal growth and leadership coach. Okay, that was part number 3. I'll see you in part number 4 of this series of the facets of my work. This has been A Higher Level, Aaron of aaronjmarks.com, where everything we think, see, and do happens on a higher level. I'll see you in the next part. Thanks for joining me on A Higher Level. If I've done my job right, you're seeing, thinking, and acting differently, with more clarity, more decisiveness, more intention, more success. The current state of your life is just a set of results, and they can all be improved. Doesn't matter whether it concerns yourself, your family, your friends, your community, your workplace, your investments, your world. Behave differently, act differently, communicate differently, and your results will change, guaranteed. But how do you change your actions, behaviors, and communications? If you're unsure, give me a shout. I've helped dozens of motivated leaders and organizations like you and yours to improve their results by discerning exactly the right next step. It's something not everyone can do, and it happens to be my specialty. Sound like something you can use? Learn more about me on all my media channels, and reach out to start your own conversation and improve your life in every way. There's nothing like it. And you're worth it. Because if you're not, then no one is. Thanks again for joining me on A Higher Level. I'll talk to you next time, and we'll continue to see, think, and act on a higher level. Until then.